Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Ask the Critics. I am Rob.
And I'm Dave.
And this is the segment that we're doing to celebrate our 5-year anniversary of this movie review channel, where we are answering your questions throughout the entire month of September. So if you got a question that you would like us to answer, like what our favorite movies are, what we think of this or that, post your comments and we'll get to it. Our first question comes from Fred Castle. What is your guys' opinion on the Disney animated Peter Pan, the movie Hook, and Peter Pan 2003, and which do you prefer? Let's start with you, Dave. What have you seen these movies, and what have you thought about them?
The new one, the 2003 one, I've never ever seen that.
Me neither.
Hook, I've seen quite a lot because I used to own it. I mean, it was when I was younger. I thought it was great. Nowadays, I watch it and it's just another Robin Williams movie to me. I mean, I really like Robin Williams. He's probably like the best character in there. His comedy and all that. But I mean, it's not my favorite Robin Williams movie. I'm more into like the ones that are more like rated R, that have more adult subject matter, because he gets like really funny, especially when he starts cursing and all that. So this movie was alright. And then I think I saw the old Disney one maybe like once, but I really couldn't tell you like what I remember about it, except for maybe like probably my favorite scene was like when they're like marching around in the woods and singing that song or whatever. That was kind of funny, but I really don't remember like much of anything else about it. It's been so many years.
Oh, well, I grew up watching the cartoon, and I liked it. It's not my favorite Disney cartoon, but I think Peter Pan's a bit of a jerk in that one. But yeah. I enjoyed it. I mean, now there's all this thing about how some of the Native Americans are upset about how stereotypical the Indian characters are in the movie, which I can kind of understand. Mm-hmm. But I liked it as a kid. It's not my favorite, but I really, really liked it. I haven't really seen Hook. I've seen some of it on TV, like I was channel surfing and I surfed through it, so I never saw the whole thing. I thought, from what I saw, it was all right. And I also have never seen the 2003 version of Peter Pan. My mom, she's got a copy of it, and she says it's really good and all that, so maybe I'll sit down and watch it. But yeah, I guess, I'm sorry, Fred, but I guess to answer your question, it's hard to say what we prefer and what we think of all three of those films, because one of us hasn't seen one or the other. But for me, I would probably say I really enjoyed the cartoon of Peter Pan, and I guess you're saying Hook was an alright movie.
Hook, yeah.
The next question comes from Stuart Aw. TV versus cinema in 2013, TV versus cinema in 2012. Which form of media is the best? In the last 12 months, I've enjoyed the US TV hits like Under the Dome and Revenge, Season 1 only, also the US-UK co-production of the series episodes. In the last 12 months, I've enjoyed cinema hits like Rise of the Dark Knight, I think Dark Knight Rises, but I struggle to remember too many recent cinema gems, so I ask you guys the question, is the 2010s, is TV better than cinema? Well, Dave, personally, I think both have pluses and minuses. I would probably lean a bit more towards cinema, because I haven't really watched a lot of TV too much within the past year, but before I did that, most shows like the dramas, like the medical dramas, you only have like 45 minutes to tell the story, and it's an hour with the commercials, and you have to get it moving, and sometimes characters don't get a chance to develop. They serve as plot points. Comedies, a lot of the sitcoms just aren't that funny. They become kind of like a caricature. I kind of wish that some shows would go back to like the old Twilight Zone TV show from the 60s, where they were smart and challenging. Yeah. There's all this talk about shows on cable like Game of Thrones, and there's stuff on Netflix that I've been hearing a lot about, like I think Black is the New Orange is the New Black or something like that. So it's really hard for me to say with the cable shows, but everyone's talking about Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones, and I'm guessing maybe perhaps on cable you can do more than you can on network television. Yeah. That's probably my guess, because they just did that Liberace bio movie that nobody in Hollywood wanted to make a movie out of. They had to go to cable to make it. So yeah. I'm guessing there's more freedom with that than there is with network television. But with movies, You know, you get some good ones, you get some smart ones, you get some funny ones, but there's always a couple of duds here and there. You get a few mediocre ones here and there. But I don't know, but I mean, comparing network television to movies, I would definitely lean more towards the movies, even though there's a few clunkers here and there. What about you?
The thing is with me, I don't have cable, so I don't get very much on TV anyway. And lately I've had Netflix, so I've been watching movies like nonstop on that, and I've pretty much stopped watching TV at my house. I mean, I think really the only time I ever watch TV is like if I'm watching a sports game or if I'm watching the news lately. Really the only stuff that I used to watch on TV, since it's the only good stuff that I'd get more or less, was I would watch Family Guy, try and catch the new episodes if I was home, because I usually I work on Sundays now. That's another thing too. Yeah, Family Guy or American Dad, those shows on Sunday nights when I was available to watch them is what I used to watch. That was more like back in 2012, and lately it's been all Netflix for me because of my my work schedule, and being that there's really nothing on unless you have, there's nothing on TV unless you have cable nowadays. So.
Yeah, and that's kind of interesting, you watching Netflix. You know, Arrested Development just came back on Netflix, I believe. So, I mean, have you haven't been checking out the new TV shows that are only on Netflix, like the new Orange, Black is Orange or something like that, or Arrested Development?
I was never a fan of Arrested Development, so that has no interest to me. I took a look at that Black is the New Orange, or Orange is the New Black, whatever it's called. It was okay. So some of the complete television show series that I have been watching on there is I know on streaming they have the first 4 seasons of The Tudors, that thing about King Henry VIII when he's like in his early 20s, and all his like seductions with all these like women and all the stuff that he did and whatnot. And I watched the first season of that, and so far it's okay. And then I've been trying to find time to start watching the first 4 seasons of Sons of Anarchy, because everybody's like says that that show is like really great. But yeah, it's hard that I don't have cable. I wish I did, so I could watch them like ahead of time or whatever when while they're on cable. But I have to wait till everything either comes out on DVD or onto Netflix in order to watch complete seasons of television shows.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that Netflix is probably going to be the new direction, because I know a lot of people my age are watching them on the computer, like on Hulu or on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I think maybe less people are going to be watching TV, personally, because I mean, like I said, nothing's really original. To me, not a whole lot is that good. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Netflix is pretty much popular, especially for people that don't have cable or HBO and whatnot, so that they can like catch up on all the complete seasons of shows that are only on cable if they don't have cable, like what I've been doing.
All right, well, that takes care of the questions for today. Thank you very much for posting them. And I think Dave and I had a fun time answering your questions.
If anybody else has any more questions for us, feel free to post them, because we're planning on doing these videos throughout the entire month of September. So we're looking for more questions to do more videos with. So keep them coming if you've got them.
Yeah, yes, please do. All right, well, again, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time on Ask the Critics.